Hi, I'm Eric Summerer, and here's what's coming from the Dice Tower
All right,
this week.
well, welcome to the Dice Tower news for September 10th, 2012. Lots of stuff going on this week. The biggest thing for me is that we've just announced the dates for Dice Tower Convention 2013. So there's that you can go find out information on by signing up at Dice Tower Con. A lot of people have asked different questions about it, and last year we had 300 people maximum. This year we're expanding to 600 with possibly more than that. However, the fact is we sold out last year, and so if you're going to get in on this, do it now. Some people say, well, why are you doing it over July 4th? Well, I know that's a holiday for a lot of people that you like to do things on, but at the same time, it's really a free weekend for a lot of people that they're able to come to. So I really hope you can come. It is the best convention ever. So that's Dice Tower Convention. And as we said last week, don't forget to vote in the top 100 games of all time. We're going to start that up very close to the beginning of October. I've had 500 people vote so far, and go in there and vote for your favorite games. We'll have a link in the bottom of this video, but go jump in. You get to vote for 20 of your favorite games. You can vote for just one if you'd like. If you're not sure what part of your favorite game, let's say it's broken up. Let's say, for example, you're doing Summoner Wars. You could do Summoner Wars the Master Set, or if you're doing Heroescape, do the first Heroescape. If there's a series or expansions like Dominion, just do your favorite version of that game. It's very interesting to watch it. It's just so close. So many of your top 100 I'm watching as the list changes daily. I have my top 100 ready to go. Went through, and there is a lot of changes. I try not to look at my previous list when I go through it, just to see what games I like, and I can sense my game tastes are changing from year to year, and well, you'll have to wait till we do the top 100, but it's coming soon. Go vote now. Once again, Fantasy Flight makes the news by this week in stores. Android Netrunner is there. The big game has been released, and they also have announced a couple of their upcoming things. We've known about these since Gen Con, but first of all, the Star Wars card game is coming out. It's a two-player head-to-head game, and so they've announced that. They also announced a new version of their Game of Thrones card game. This one's based on the HBO TV series. It's kind of like the regular card game that they already have for Game of Thrones, but it's similar, but they're not necessarily compatible. It's dumbed down, although that's not the wording they use. They use more of a simplified version of it. So if you want to see the real people that play the parts of these characters in HBO, then this is the game for you. So keep an eye out for that. In other board gaming news, the Crude and Article 27 have both put on pre-order from Stronghold Games. I just did a review of Crude last week. Article 27, expect to see a review of that soon. And also, while we're always talking about new games on this show, sometimes it's good to concentrate on reprints of games. Lost Valley is going up on Kickstarter very soon. I'll actually have a preview of that this week. But Lost Valley is a game I very much enjoy. Glad to see that one coming back. And Days of Wonder has announced a reprint of Mystery of the Abbey. Mystery of the Abbey is one of my favorite deduction games. It makes Clue obsolete, in my opinion. Gorgeous production. In fact, this is the game that I always said put Days of Wonder on the map. And finally, Tempest is that new series coming from AEG. Looking forward to a series of games. They have 4 of them announced so far. And they have the rules for Domineer, which is the biggest game of the series, online, so you can check that out. Don't forget, I put out a whole lot more news than this over the course of a week. You can check all that out at GameSaluteNews.com. And also, we have a 5 to 6 minute podcast that comes out 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, by Remy Gibson. And it is just great. You can just subscribe, and every other day, basically, out comes a new podcast. So check out that for all the news you can get. As always, be checking out all the great podcasts in the Dice Tower Network. This week, Ludology takes another crack at this Trading in the Mediterranean game that Ryan and Jeff are designing. Will this project end in failure or not? That's up to you guys to decide. Plaid Hat number 60, they're doing their background stories, and Josh Rios is the person that they're looking at this week in episode 60. Game Up was 21.5. They take a look at Arkham Horror and a gaming session of that. Secret Gaming Cabal, and their latest episode takes a look at Descent 2.0. Is it a great game? That's up to them and you to listen to that show. And the D6 Generation has put out the Lost Chapters number 40, in which they talk about guilty pleasures. The guest host for there is their previous co-host, Rafe. So check that out. And of course, there's our own episode this week of the Dice Tower number 272, in which we talk about funny games. I got out fewer reviews last week. I meant to do 14, only did 12. And that was partially because my birthday. Thank you to everyone who gave me happy birthday wishes. Great. I'm 36 now, getting closer to 40, and lots more games to go. But to make up for that, we will try to have some extra reviews this week, including our very own Eric Summer. We'll be reviewing Merchants of Venus. Huzzah! We also have the Hoyers giving us a couple reviews where they take a look at Pitch Car Mini and also the iOS version of Elder Sign. Ryan's going to be taking a look at some games: Dotsy, Set Trio, Four Taverns, Elemental Clash, and Nounsense. Nounsense. That's just a fun game name to say. I have a couple previews this week. I already mentioned Lost Valley, and so you'll see a couple previews coming out from the Vassal Clan, but we're also going to be taking a look at a couple trick-taking games. One of those is from ILO called The Dwarf King, and another one is Little Devils from Stronghold Games. Also, some games that I think people are looking forward to. We're looking at the expansion for Seven Wonders, the city's expansion, and then the sequel to Mall of Horror, City of Horror. Ooh! Sunrise City, which comes from the folks who brought you Alien Frontiers. Banditos, where we get to sit around and talk in bad accents as we rob banks from Mexico. Wilderness, a game of exploration and, well, basically just trying to survive. Ergo, which is a game for, people who like computer programming, I think. Sheepland, a game of pushing your luck type category. Power, P-O-W-E-R. Sentinels, the new version of Sentinels. We'll be taking a look at that, as well as the expansion Infernal Relics. We'll be taking a look back at Citadels, one of the games that actually got me into playing all these new different types of games, and then the crazy contraption game from Stronghold. That's it for this week. I'm so excited. So many games to talk about. There are so many on the way. Go vote in the top 100. Watch our news. So many things coming out. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassal, and you're watching the Dice Tower.
Find all this and more at Dicetower.com. See you soon.